Hello and welcome to Analog Romantique. I am your host, Skeleton Lipstick. Today we're going to be visiting Laurel Hill Cemetery, one of the oldest cemeteries in America in the Roxborough area of Philadelphia. I believe it was the first cemetery to be listed as a national landmark by Congress. And to capture it properly, we're going to be using this guy right here, the Canon FTb QL. This is a wonderful classic camera, extremely sturdy, extremely reliable, particularly because it does not require a battery. Its functions are almost all completely analog. The shutter, the aperture, even the timer itself are all analog. The only thing that does require a battery is the light meter, but we're going to be using a different light meter today anyway, so that's neither here nor there. So listen to this click though. How romantic, how beautiful. And even the timer itself, like I mentioned, is, hold on, wait for it, completely analog. Just love listening to those gears wind up and those sprockets start turning. It makes me imagine the camera itself is thinking about the composition of the photograph we're going to take. So I just love that, and I love how sturdy and reliable this camera is. And I have a bunch of cameras, but I like to keep these, these nearly full analog cameras like this available, because just in case I don't have batteries available for my other film cameras, or something happens and they break or the electronics go out on it, I always have some analog, some of these more completely analog cameras around as a backup, so I can still take beautiful photographs. Now, like I mentioned, we are going to be using an external light meter. Today we're going to be using this guy right here, the Lightmate AirPro. Now, one of the things I do like about this light meter is that it has a dedicated ISO wheel. A lot of times with these other light meters, the ISO wheel, there we go, the ISO wheel is kind of inside one of the other wheels, so you kind of have to do one of these like pull out and turn things to activate it. But this guy, it has its own dedicated wheel, and the other thing I like about this is that the off switch is also part of the dials themselves. So when I want to turn this device on, I just simply turn it to the left. I start scrolling on the wheel, as opposed to having this little button on the side sometimes when they have for these on-off switches, and I find I'm always accidentally turning it off and on, wasting the battery. But it's very nice that I can feel pretty secure that I'm turning the device on and off by just clicking this wheel. And anyway, the way that it works basically is that we set our ISO, okay? And then depending on whether the shutter or the aperture is more important to you, you set one of those. Let's say, for example, I want to shoot with an F11 aperture. I'll just simply set my aperture to F11, and then I'll start taking a reading, and it's going to give me a little plus and minus sign right there, and I'll adjust my shutter until that plus sign turns into the circle. The circle gets illuminated instead of the plus sign, and that will indicate to me that I have a proper exposure. Obviously, if my plus sign is illuminated, I'm overexposed. If the negative sign is illuminated, I am underexposed. So basically, I want that, say I get back to my previous example, if I want that F11 aperture, I'm gonna set my ISO, and I'm gonna set my aperture, and then I'm gonna just adjust the shutter wheel until that little circle in between the plus and negative sign is illuminated, and that'll at least give me a good estimation of what's the device is approximating to be a proper exposure. So we're going to be taking this guy out for us today. We're going to put it to use. Let's see how well it does for us today and how easy it is to use. So I guess enough chattering. Let's go out. Let's shoot some film. Okay, well, now we've got our camera loaded, we have our light meter selected, we have the lenses that we want to shoot with packed up in my car, and we have a great location to shoot at today with some optimal conditions for weather and lighting. And we'll be shooting today at, check out behind me, Laurel Acres Cemetery. This is one of the oldest cemeteries in the United States, with graves dating back several hundred years. And look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna get some good B-roll. You guys gotta take a look at this. But I am super excited to shoot here. I've got my film packed up and ready to go. And oh boy, there's nobody here either. We have the whole graveyard to ourselves. It's just us and the dearly departed. So let's have some fun. Let's not have some fun. Let's have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So much fun that we might just wake the dead. Yeah, that's a bad joke. We're gonna be very quiet. We don't want to do that. We don't want any 28 days later scenarios happening. All right, we've got our light meter on here, and let's just try. We wanted to do a big landscape, so we're gonna use a smaller aperture so we can get some more detail. So let's see. We got it set at 1/60th of a second. Let's adjust this until our meter goes from the plus sign to the middle. Oh, here we go. Let's go one more. Between 116 and what? F11. Very, very good how that works. F11. So we're gonna set our aperture to F11 based on this. Obviously, we're gonna do 1/60th second for the shutter speed, and F11 for our aperture. And we've got our ISO set to 200, and it's just that easy. Let's go shoot. All right, I think we're gonna get this guy right up here. It seems to be a nice central location in the graveyard, and this long tombstone is almost like a totem right in the center of the action. And we're going to set our tripod up right here. Then we're going to get our external shutter to activate it, and we're going to capture this. Yeah, the biggest problem I have with this place is there's too much cool stuff to shoot and only so much sunlight in a day. But we're gonna do our best to take full advantage of this beautiful day and this beautiful location. So I'm seeing a spot right over here. I want to get that angel right over there. We're gonna get those three amigos up there. They sort of move in a descending order down the landscape. I think that's a very elegant design. But we're gonna switch our lens. I was using the 28mm to capture more of the gravescapes, as it were. But we want this photo to be a little bit more intimate because these three figures are sort of interlocked with each other for all of eternity. And that's a very intimate relationship, right? To be a gravestone next to another gravestone. That's probably the most binding connection possible. So we're gonna switch maybe to like a 100mm lens to kind of tighten up our focus on those three guys up there. Okay. And remember kids, always keep track of your caps. Boom. That's better. Okay. All right, there are so many captivating subjects here, but my eye has gone straight for that pleurant right over there. Those are my favorite graveyard creatures, the weeping mourners that are shrouded in cloaks. Switching to the 85mm lens for her. We captured her with a 28mm, which is good for the landscape. We got her with that beautiful sunset in the background. But now we want an elegant portraiture shot, which the 85mm will be best for. And anyway, this is beautiful. Guys, check out this this beautiful gravestone right here. July 25th, 1880. So we have people buried here from the 18th century, and just really look at the craftsmanship. I mean, just looking at it probably through a screen, doesn't it? Can't you just feel the texture just looking at it? How beautiful to have carved into stone the delicateness of wood. That's beautiful. Look at that. You feel like you can kind of just chip it off by touching it as if it was dried wood, but this is stone. I have got another potential photograph composed right now. What I want to do is put this character right here as the focal point of the picture, kind of. He's actually going to be at the very end of the picture, like, and it'll the bottom right frame, the bottom right of the frame will have him, you know, extending his arm upward, and it'll kind of go diagonally to spread across the horizon to show all the graves behind him, and it'll look like almost like a victory march, the victory of death over life, because that's what happens. Life doesn't win, death wins. The one thing that everybody in the world has in common from now to the first Homo sapiens is death. It always wins. And this will be a nice picture to remind everybody of that. Gotta tighten up my lens. This thing always gets loose. If somebody knows a really reliable one of these things, a really reliable way to keep these things in, leave your comments below, please. Also, if you're interested in this guy, I'm going to leave links in my profile. Oh, sorry, I'm going to leave links in the description for where to get this guy at, because he is really convenient, very lightweight. If you need a tripod that you want to have on the go with you, and you want to be able to move quick, 100% this one. I got another one that I use for a studio, which is a little bit sturdier, but this one is the one that comes out with me every time. And I also changed the head that came. I actually attached my own head for this tripod. I'll leave a link for this too. This is another one, and it moves in multiple different directions like this, which you want, because you're going to really, particularly in these unstable landscapes where, not unstable, uneven landscapes, you're going to need to adjust this so that you can frame things properly. You can compose your scene accurately. So you're going to want to get one of these rotating ball hinges that you can attach your camera to. And I'll leave a link for that too. And this is a good one because it's really lightweight. This is a lightweight one. You're going to want this one. And I have another one back in my home studio that's a lot much heavier, but I'm not going to bring that one out with me too. It adds like fucking 15 pounds when I bring it out with me. So I'll leave a link for both the ball hinge camera head for the camera, and whatever you call it, and then this guy too, the tripod, the head for the tripod and the tripod that I recommend. Now we should put him in the blue. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in between the two trees right over here, so he has the blue and white sky behind him, because their eyes need to go to him first. Alrighty, Roo. That's light. Oof, you have to charge this bad boy soon. 11, I'll take it. 11 sounds good. What's this guy? He doesn't look like the typical mourner. Looks a little relaxed. The hand over the heart? Is that what that is? That's really adorable. I'm not used to using the word adorable when describing old headstones. I didn't even know. When is this grave from? Is there a date? I don't even see a date for it, unless it's maybe related to this date that's impressed upon this stone over here. It says 1839 and 1897. Maybe this stone is related to that tomb right here. And if so, that means we're dealing with the 18th century, and that person is definitely making a little heart gesture. So were we making the heart gesticulation back in the 1800s? Is that what this is proof of? That's adorable. We gotta take a picture of her. It's so cute. So what we're gonna try to do, guys, is we wanna get a picture of her. We don't wanna, which is actually a very beautiful green back here, but we don't wanna get the green behind her. She's gonna be absorbed in the green wavelengths of colors. The camera's not gonna pick her up properly. So we wanna instead center her with the beautiful purple tree behind her instead as her backdrop. That should be able to counter her mossy and gray colors, and maybe that'll make her pop more. I mean, I'd actually almost, you know what? Actually, it'll be great because it'll be the purple and the blue, so you'll get those wavelengths, and that will hopefully help to bound her better, to bound her form better in the photo. Hopefully it'll outline everything a little bit more. I gotta switch my lens probably, but we're gonna shoot with this one first. I'm gonna have to probably switch to the Star Maker lens, the 100mm f2. But we'll start with this one first. We'll get a few exposures. And we might be running out of the roll soon. Fun might be over. The adventure might be concluding soon. Oh, I gotta move it back a little bit. Whoa, I'm gonna trip over, I'm gonna end up in the graveyard myself. Framed you up beautifully. Okay, reading. Can I get an F4? I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I would not mind that at all. It's a good reading. Okay. Nice. So that about wraps things up today for our photographic journey to Laurel Hill Cemetery. Not Laurel Acres, Laurel Hill Cemetery. If you like my work, you can check out my Instagram. My handle is death_romantique, ROMANTIQUE. I'll put a link for it in the description. If you like the music you've been hearing in the background, that's also my music. You can find that on all streaming platforms, and my artistic name is Skeleton Lipstick. So search for that on Spotify, and I'll put some links for that in the description as well. Also, if you are interested in any of the equipment I used today, like the light meter or the tripod or the film or even this microphone and the accoutrements that I'm using with the microphone today, I will have some Amazon affiliate links in the description as well. Please check them out. Any kind of money that I accrue from this video will be put directly back into making more videos. So if you like what I'm doing here, and if you want to see more fun photographic journeys with someone who is pretty much an amateur and just sort of learning as I go, but has a great artistic urge inside to express myself and to say silly things along the way, follow me at this YouTube page for more in the future. And this is Skeleton Lipstick for Analog Romantique, signing off. We'll talk to you all later.